I'm just 21 and I'm currently working on my fifth venture, have failed 4 times before. So who all has started a startup before? Okay, a lot of people. And how many of you failed in your first venture? Okay, almost equal number of hands. And who all started second startup after that? Okay, and who all failed again? Okay. So yeah, I'm not the only one, there are a lot of other people as well. So I started my first startup called Grab the Fashion in 2012 with my brother. That was right after I finished my high school. And that was an e-commerce portal for fashion industry. Irony was when I started Grab the Fashion, I had no clue about fashion industry. I didn't know anything about e-commerce. I just started it because I wanted to start something of my own. We worked on it for about 3 months, and that was a time when I actually got to know about e-commerce industry and a little bit about fashion industry. And that venture never took off because after that I had to move to US to attend my college. But it was a great learning experience for me to understand how exactly a startup works and what all it takes to start a startup. When I was in US, it was the first time for me on a foreign land. And I enthusiastically explored the new culture and experiences that place had to offer me. While I was there, I found out about a certificate program in entrepreneurship and innovation that my college was offering. And I registered for it along with all of the courses. On first day of lectures, professors gave us a list of books that we had to buy for that semester. I went to the bookstore to find out that books would cost me over $500. That's over 30,000 rupees. So I called a senior who helped me arrange used books, but even that cost me over $200. So that was like a eureka moment for me. I spotted a problem right there. At the beginning of next semester, I started my second venture called Sell on Spot, a marketplace for students where they could exchange used books. A win-win situation for everybody. So we received pretty good response for that venture, but couldn't continue due to seasonality of the business. While I was exploring more options and opportunities, I got to know about an exchange program with a German university and moved to Germany to continue my education. There were various reasons why I decided to move to Germany. First, because of their excellence in mechanical engineering. Second, it would save me an year. And third, it costed almost 40% of what I was paying in my current university. So it made perfect sense for an entrepreneur like me to grab that opportunity. I reached Germany on a Friday night. So on a fine Friday night in a college dorm, what sort of scenario one would expect? Everybody's partying and having fun, and I joined them. That trend continued for a couple of days, and eventually I got bored of it because it was lacking the excitement. In my first week in Germany, I made some good friends, talked to a lot of seniors, and shared my plans of completing my degree in next 2.5 years instead of 3. The response to the conversation was, it's next to impossible. Even till date, I did not have an answer to that because I'm still not a graduate. I do plan to finish up my degree as I'm left with just 1 semester, but I just do not have a timeline for that. I don't know when I will go back and complete my degree. So my city in Germany had a very vibrant startup ecosystem. I attended a startup weekend over there. I went there, pitched my idea, nobody joined me. Neither did I join anybody else. So there were 4 others like me. We decided to form a team, brainstorm, and come up with an idea. We created a business model, created a working prototype, pitched to jury, and won the competition. Out of the jury, there were 2 angel investors sitting in the jury who offered us investment on the spot. I was full of joy and hope. We met those investors a few days later over lunch and closed the deal. That was like a dream come true for me. But as we all know, good things never come easy. So there came a major problem, my visa status. We were constantly talking to lawyers, hoping that something would be figured out, but nothing worked out. And my lawyer said that there's nothing that can be done. Your idea is not relevant to your field of study, so there's nothing that can be done and you have to quit. After working on it for about 2 months, I had to quit. That was like one of the saddest moments of my life because I was working too hard for that, achieved it, but then it was gone. But anyways, nothing can be done now. So it was time to move on and start my next startup called Trekking Tours. So it was an online portal for tourists to connect them to local people. Initially, it wasn't my priority, but we were getting some good response from people around the globe. And by the time I figured out that to work on any idea properly, I need to devote more time. So I decided to expedite my education. In that particular semester, I took as many courses as I could and managed to finish almost half of my degree just in one semester. After that, with proper devotion of time, we were able to win several business plan competitions in India and Austria. And the sort of response that we were getting from people forced me to consider working on it full-time instead of part-time due to college education. And that led to change in plans. I finally decided to move back to India and work on my startup full-time. I'm fortunate enough to have very supporting parents and elder brother who believed in me and showed their support in my decision of coming back to India for this. Some interesting things happened while I was coming back. Right before I was coming back from Germany, I got a call, a very lucrative offer from an internet giant in Berlin. They wanted me to join them as a growth manager. That was a very lucrative offer, and I did fall for it. So I considered it, but later on, I opted for my own startup over their company because of their delayed response. Now, when I came back to India, a lot of people asked a lot of questions, but I decided to sit back and not explain anything to anybody because sometimes ignorance is bliss. You just don't have to give explanation to anybody. Meanwhile, I also lost my interest in trekking tours because I was expecting a job offer from that company. And with a startup, it's like if the enthusiasm doesn't come from within, then you cannot make it. You just cannot force it on yourself. It has to be from within. And that is when I thought of starting my next venture, HippoCabs. So the heart of HippoCabs actually falls in my journey from Delhi to Jaipur when I was coming back from Germany. So usually I used to book my flight all the way to Jaipur, but this time it was to Delhi. And from Delhi airport, I could either take a cab or a bus. With cab, it gets really expensive for a single person, so I opted for bus. But bus ride was super uncomfortable and annoyed me to the core. That was the time when I came up with the idea of HippoCabs, an intercity shared cab service. While we were working on the plan, we figured out various problems and our various roadblocks came in. We pivoted strategically to move away from shared cab to complete one-way cab service. Recently only, we have launched another portal for travel agents to help them find customers for their return cabs. This has been an amazing journey so far. Every day is a new challenge and a great learning experience. I believe whatever I am today is just because of the failures that I had in past. From my experience, all that I can say is that it's not about how many times or how hard you fail. It's all about how you react to that failure, how you bounce back. Giving up to those failures is easy, but in my opinion, fighting back with twice the magnitude is the essence of entrepreneurship. That is all. Thank you. I'm open for any sort of questions.